Hi, my name is Lexis Bennett, and this is my website redesign proposal for adoptapet.com. So first I'm going to begin with a few recommendations that I have. These are just going to be brief recommendations that I'm going to later explain them more in depth and where they apply later on in my presentation. And before I go over these, I just want to say that this proposal and the recommendations listed have been made upon the conclusions of usability testing as well as the studies that have been done on best web practices and conventions. The overall goal is to create the best user experience that we can. So my first recommendation is that the text field for location should have an autocomplete feature, and this would automatically fill in the location as the user would begin to type. Number 2, all animal listings should include at least one photograph of the animal up for adoption. Number 3, the Rehome a Pet and Store tabs should display the permission pop-up informing the user that they're about to leave the site. Number 4, the design should be consistent throughout the entire site. Number 5, general information on the pages as well as the articles should be organized in a way that is more easy to read and as well as navigate. They should also include like a very obvious text hierarchy. And number 6, there should be a search bar located at the top of the page for quick navigation. So now I'm just going to break down the site, and I'm starting off here with the home page. And so one of the best web practices and conventions is that there is a navigation bar across the top of a website as well as the logo featured in the top left. Adopt-a-Pet has done both of these, and if you were to go to a different page and click on that adoptapet.com, it'll bring you right back to this home page, which is a great feature. And then the navigation bar is really easy to read. They have categorized it well as including subpages right underneath each of those tabs. There's also a search for featured pets right below the form. And this is great because they can show like new dogs that they just got or new cats that they just got, or pets that they're trying to get adopted very quickly, and that's a great feature. And then they also have their live Twitter feed, which shows that they're reaching out more into the social world rather than just this website, which is always great. So next I wanted to focus on the search filter form because it is a really great feature. It's very large when you first load the page, which is really great because people are really coming here to search for pets. And so that's very obvious on the front page. The form is really great. They have set it up kind of like what you would imagine on a phone app, which is really great to include on these websites. There's drop-down boxes, which make the options really easy to select. The search button is really large and easy to locate, and they have actually made it a button, which is really great. The location automatically fills with your current location as long as you have your location settings on, which is really great, but once you get rid of that zip code, there is a concern with formatting the location, and this could cause a lot of user error, and that could cause a lot of user frustration and make them want to leave the site. So once you click the search button on the form, you do get a pop-up to sign up for their newsletter, and this could be great because they could get more people to sign up and get involved, but it could also be a bad thing if not done right. Their design for this is overall great, but then once you close it, once the results load, there is another section for it as soon as the page loads. So it makes me believe that maybe the pop-up isn't so necessary, or they should at least get rid of that second box once the page loads. I know they're trying to get people to sign up for it, but it's not so great to just keep shoving it in their face all the time. And so once the results load, you're presented with this gallery style, which is really great. There's names for all the animals, where they're located, which is really great. There's just a minimal amount of information, which makes it really easy to look through all the pets super fast. Some of the postings are missing photos, which isn't so great because when you're looking to adopt an animal, you want to see what they look like. That way you can connect with them a little bit more. And by missing photos, the site is kind of going against its purpose, and people are more likely to just scroll right over that posting for the animal. But once you click on a posting for the animal, you're presented with either a both in-depth and quick summary of the animal. You get to learn a lot about them. And then they have a really nice contact form, which you can just click all the links and buttons. And if you wanted to contact them by email, you could just click on the email, and it would automatically open up your email to make emailing super quick. And then they have social media sharing, which you can help spread these animals' postings throughout social media. You just click the button and it prompts you to go ahead and share it on your Facebook or Twitter, which is a really great feature and could help spread the word really fast. And so something interesting that I saw is when I went to the breed information page, the website design suddenly changed. The header is completely different if you look at the picture on the left than the one on the right. The information is actually organized a little bit better compared to the one on the right. But it's just bad because the navigation bar is also a different color. All of the navigation items are now capitalized, which could be a little confusing if you're on the same site. And also, if you look at the right, the links that are listed are a little too close together and kind of just blend down, and you kind of almost don't want to read through that entire list. And that could be frustrating for users, and they might just want to click away because that's just so much to go through. And so for the mobile view, when I pulled it up, they do have a responsive web design, which is a term that was coined by Ethan Marcotte. This includes like a hamburger menu for easy navigation. I can just click on it and then select a page from there. They have drop-down boxes, which prompt up a little box that I can select from, kind of like most apps do, and that's a really great feature. All of the content on it has pretty much condensed, and there's a good amount of margins on both sides. And then pretty much there is scrolling and then pinch zoom, which is also great features. Something very shocking is when I went to a different page, every bit of the mobile aspect was completely lost and I got brought back to this normal website, which was pretty frustrating. So this made me to the conclusion that the site does not have mobile first in mind, which is a term created by Luke Robleski. And so some things that I just noticed is the navigation suddenly gone, and it's really hard to navigate this page. The text is super small, images are super small. It does have a showed simplified view, but if I click on it, all the features of the site are suddenly lost. So I did do usability testing. I picked 3 different users with a variety of age who are all comfortable with the internet. They were all given an introduction saying that they could not do or say anything wrong, and they were encouraged to think out loud. We were mainly testing the site and not them. They were asked to tell me the steps when introducing a new cat to their dog, how I could find a selection of small young dogs, preferably brown, that are available to adopt in the Springfield area, and if I wanted to purchase a manual on cats, where could I get one? So overall, the users thought that the tasks were pretty easy to do, but here's some of the issues that they had. So some of them had formatting the location. They had a lot of error with that. They kept typing in the wrong thing, and this caused frustrations when trying to get the results to load. They also were looking for a search bar to help task number 1 go a lot faster. And then the links that were on the pages were hard to read. A lot of the users didn't want to complete it or go through the list. And then one of the users was confused about the pop-up box. So for my redesign strategy, the first thing I wanted to include is an autocomplete for the location. And what this will do is once the user begins to type the location, it'll auto-suggest locations underneath, and then the user could click that and it'll autofill. And this will pretty much almost eliminate all possibility for the location to be formatted wrong. Number 2, I would say to include an alert box for when the user wants to click on like rehome or go to the store. Most of the time this would just take you to a new page, but and that can be confusing for the user. They might think that they did something wrong or not know how they got to a new page. This would just be a great box letting them know that, hey, they're leaving the page, they're going to an off-site page, or they could just open up the new page in a new tab. Those are 2 different options. Number 3 is just a small one. All the pet listings should include a photo of the animal, and I explained that earlier. If you're looking to adopt an animal, you want to know what they look like, so by not including a picture, they're kind of doing the opposite of what the site's purpose is. Number 4, include a search box. This is part of the web conventions. It's just a lot easier for users to navigate a site. If they get frustrated or they can't find anything, they can just type something into that search bar and it'll go ahead and load the result that they need. Number 5, the pop-up box after the search could be taken away. I read an interesting article by Trish Mystery. She said that if you want to include a pop-up box, at least show an obvious way to close it, as well as include minimal places where the user would have to fill out. And they've done this with their pop-up box, which is really great. So it's great that it's there, but the second box that shows up right after it is kind of not necessary, so they can get rid of one or the other. No matter what, the users are going to see the newsletter. And then for the design, this newer page that they have featured on the left here, the information is organized a lot better. If they could just carry this design through the rest of their pages, the design could be absolutely solid. And then they just need to keep that navigation bar and that header consistent throughout. But if they follow the design of the one on the left, the information is going to be a lot easier to go through. And then by including that search bar, it's going to be a lot easier to find the information that they are looking for. But just by taking that where they have a scroller and you can pick your topic and then just seeing it there is a really great design. And that's all I have. Thank you.